Sit straight with head, neck, and back in a straight line. Make a conscious attempt to give up all worries, anxieties, thoughts, thought association. Offer your mental salutations to Bhagavan. Without Bhagavan's grace, we cannot enjoy the silence of mind. Offer your mental salutations to Pujya Gurudev, one's own Guru. Hey Guru, bless upon me a clarity of thought in living. With the power of thought and intention, relax the physical form, legs, feet, the abdominal region, chest, arms, hands. Lead your awareness to the very center of your forehead. Enter within. Arrive in a sacred sanctum, a sacred chamber of pure silence. There are no thoughts, there are no objects, there are no people. Still emptiness in a vast expanse of stillness. This stillness is avyaktam, unmanifest. It never is. If we try to objectify it, it cannot be. Achintyam. It cannot be thought of as an idea, a concept, a quality. Yet it is. Anantam. It is of the nature of infinitude. Adimadhyanta vihinam. It has no origin, thus no end. It ever is. Ekam. I alone am. Aham eva asmi. This still silence I am. Shivam. It is auspiciousness, for it is not a burden to me. Shantam. It is still Amritam. it is ever liberated. Take a deep breath in. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. समस्त जन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्. Yesterday we were seeing the mantras on water. We saw the Sandhya Vandanam mantra, Apo, Hishta, Mayo, Bhuvastan, Urje, etc. Then Hiranyashrungam Varunam Prapadye Tirtham Me Dehi Yachitaha Yanmaya Bhuktamasādhūnam Papebhyascha Pratigrahaha. This is mantra 55 on page 75. May this divine water god Hiranyashrungam Varunam Prapadye, we bow down to this divine water. Tirtham me dehi yachtaha. It is none other than the most divine Tirtham, the water which has entered the pluralistic world. Please grant me dehi, give me purity, give me divinity, and yanmaya bhuktam asadhunam papebhyascha pratigraha. Over here, asadhunam, people who are sinful, people who have not lived a life of good conduct, asadhunam papebhyascha, those whose actions are ill, pratigraha yanmaya, and I have accepted things from such people, and this is how we have acquired impurities in our life. So bhuktam, having enjoyed all these things which have been bestowed upon me from various sources which are improper, O water god, please cleanse me of all these impurities. Yanme manasa vacha karmana va dushkutam kritam tanna indro varuno brahaspati savita cha punantu punah. 56 also we saw this. In this way, very beautiful mantras. They keep on going, the worship of this Varuna Devata. In the interest of time, you can read some of these mantras. They are so beautiful. On page 84, mantra 66, Punantu Vasava, Punantu Varuna, Punantu Agamarshanaha. I had mentioned that this is Agamarshana Suktam. So this word Agamarshana, it is in the middle of this mantra 66. That Punantu Vasava, may all these, the wealth, cattle, everything that in those days the wealth was Vasu, none other than cattle. So, and it's a live animal which bestows all types of riches and wealth upon us. So may they be purified, may I be purified, may all my possessions, may, from all directions, may there only be auspiciousness. After we do kalasha sthapana, that water is sprinkled everywhere. So this is what is chanted when we sprinkle, and we sprinkle upon ourselves, we sprinkle everywhere. And it is not just some karma. The karma really doesn't mean anything if the karma is not backed up by a proper intention, a proper thought behind it. And that thought is very important. And this is what this Agamarshana Suktam is. It is a live participation in this world. It is not just moving around, just sprinkling and walking out, and by itself the water has purified. No, without our request, it doesn't happen. We are live human beings. We are alive, and that demands a live participation in this world. And Punantu Vasavaha, Punatu Varunaha, hey Varuna, purify all these things. Punatu Agamarshanaha, all these sins which have been accumulated, all the impurities which are around, remove that. Usually people in the olden days, they used to sprinkle water in the very courtyard of the home, and some kolam rangoli was done with a little lamp and whatnot. These are all shubha karma. It reminds us that the dwelling place has to be proper, it has to be clean, it has to be not just clean but divine. The lamp is lit, and some design, which the whole idea of that design is, it is a geometric pattern is put, and the geometric pattern, it is called sacred geometry. Just two simple triangles up and down, Purusha and Prakriti, and in the center dot, that's it. We don't have to know complex designs. But there are all these designs which attract all types of negativity, and it traps the negativity, and the insects and everything comes and it eats it up, because the whole universe is born out of nothing but this energy. And if we don't contribute to this energy, it becomes stale, it becomes dirty. Like food is amazing energy, but you leave some food over here for a period of time and it decays. That energy just disintegrates. So there is a live participation in this world. Water, as long as it is flowing in the river, the movement is there, the water is pure. That water we trap in a bucket and it stays over there, it becomes stale. So that's why in this body, this water is put into motion even before we are born. And when the motion stops, we call it death. So that continuous movement is the movement of none other than the thought which is behind, the undercurrent of the principle of life. So, Esha Bhutasya Madhye Bhuvanasya Gopta, in the middle of all this universe which has spread, Bhuvanasya Gopta, you are the protector. Oh, water god, you are the protector. Now, after all these, chanting all these mantras, it's a reminder, who am I? Who's doing all these things? So, mantra number 67, page 86-87. Ardram jvalati jyotiha ahamasmi jyotirjvalati brahmahamasmi yohamasmi brahmahamasmi ahamasmi brahmahamasmi ahamevaham mam juhomi swaha. They take the conch and putting the hand on the conch. After that, the water is sprinkled and it is a reminder, who am I? Who is this water falling upon? What is this water? So, ardram in the water. What is water? Jvalati. The water listens, not like hearing listens, shines. The water shines. It shines with the glory of the being. Ardram jvalati. Jyotihi ahamasmi. And this water, 80%, which is in the entire body, the whole water glistens in awareness. It shines in that awareness. Ahamasmi. And that awareness is what I am. And it is repeated. Jyotihi jvalati. This very awareness shines. Jyoti jvalati brahmahamasmi. And what is the nature of the light? I am that light. Ham eva asmi. And yohamasmi brahmahamasmi. And that alone I am that Brahman. Panchajanyaya vidmahe padmagarbhaya dhimahi tanno shankha prachodayat. Puja. All these mantras are part of our rituals. But if we don't understand, the ritual becomes a karma. But when the understanding is infused in these mantras, that same action becomes an upasana, and upasana leads us to jnanam. It's a reminder, daily reminder, I am that Brahman, I am that Brahman, I am that Brahman. This body basks in nothing but this Jyoti. Ahameva asmi. Ahamasmi brahmahamasmi. I am that Brahman. And aham eva aham juhomi swaha. I am that. Into me the oblations are offered. I alone, and aham eva aham. There's nothing other than me. In the middle of action, here is this Jiva Brahma Aikya. That ahameva asmi. I am that. I alone am that. What beautiful, beautiful mantras these are. Then there are so many mantras. We day before yesterday we saw Prithvi. Then yesterday, and all these mantras, Agamarshana Suktam, the water which effaces and dissolves all the sin. So it is a water god. Now comes the next deity, Agni Bhagavan. So, and all these actually oblations are offered into the fire itself. And this entire body, this water is heated up water. And the Agni Bhagavan, the Vaishwanara Agni, is keeping this entire system heated. So, water and Agni are inseparable. So, Pahino Agna Enase Swaha, Pahino Vishwaveda Se Swaha. Oh, this page 109, mantra number 1. This is where we are entering this Agni Bhagavan. So, Pahino Pahino agna enase swaha, pahino vishwavedase swaha, yajnam pahi vibhavaso swaha, sarvam pahi shatakrato swaha. So, हे अग्नि अस्मान एन सह, अर्थात ज्ञान प्रतिबंधकात पापात रक्ष. So it is not some swaha, swaha, swaha. This is a very, very beautiful sadhana that this Agnihotri is doing. This ritualist who is in front of the fire, he's not doing it that, oh, 9 planets, remove all the obstacles, oh, Ganeshji, remove all these things and bestow upon me a very good job that pays so much. Let me have Teslas in my front yard. And this is not what this person is praying for. This person realizes this life has been bestowed upon me from the womb to the tomb. In this entire journey, I have to reach somewhere. And my actual destination is none other than realizing I am Brahman. I should not miss out on the opportunity in this life to realize who I am. So, hey Agni, I have invoked you. So, hey Agni, Asman, and he's not just saying me, Asman, the people dwelling in the home, all of us, the society is being so humble that not only should I reach, that all of us should reach. It's a prayer of the rishis. That Asman, Enasaha, Arthat, what is this Enasaha? Then in Bhashyakar explains very beautifully. Jnana Pratibandhakat Papat Raksha. There are obstacles which arise in front of us in the path of realizing Jnana Prapti, in the path of realization of the self, the attainment of this knowledge. In the process of acquiring knowledge, there is pratibandha. Pratibandha, obstacles. Something comes up and our mind is now diverted, and we have to drop everything. Some emergency happens to a child. Everything we have to drop and immediately take the child to an ER or something. So the pratibandha, my daily dainik charya, it got diverted. I have to put it and take care of this. This is important, taking care of other beings. So that is the external pratibandha. But the internal pratibandhas are so much. I'm sitting over here in front of this fire with these wonderful prayers, and this thought comes. Oh, I hope it is a good day. I have other things planned. I hope it doesn't rain. I have to finish this. So the mind goes on this wild goose chase of what all things it has to do. And the sadhana is supposed to be happening. In the middle of sadhana, now there are distractions. So this mind, which is so fickle and it moves about here and there, it is this mind which is addressed that the greatest obstacle in the path of knowledge is this inability of the mind to, even sitting over here, oh, I hope I locked the car. I hope nobody breaks in. Oh, it's a very windy day. I hope it doesn't open up. All sorts of nonsense just arrives. And the Shravanam, which should be happening, gets distracted. So, oh fire god, just like you are so intent on burning this fuel and rising up in your flames, and you rise towards delivering these prayers to the higher, may I be in union with you. Oh fire god, yesterday we saw fire god consuming the whole forest of Khandava. And it is a symbolic representation. Burn off all these negativities, and that is enase. Outside, I'm pouring some ghee, but inside, what can I pour? What can I pour on the inside which will clean it? Windex can be used to clean the surface of the glass. What Windex can we spray to clean the dust accumulating? Without these beautiful prayers, if we do not ask for the cleanliness of antakarana, by itself it will not happen. The third, the fourth, the fifth chapters of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan Krishna impresses this life of karma yoga. All this is part of that. The uniting with karma, karma yoga, to unite. How? It is a union of just proper thoughts. That's what these mantras are. So, Jnana Pratibandhakat Papat Raksha Tubhyam Idam Suhutamastu Pahino Vishwavedase Swaha. Vishwavedase Arthat Sampurna Tattva Jnana Siddhyartham Tattva Sadhana Sampadanena Asman Palaya. You protect us, but how do you protect us? When it is said Vishwavedase, so Sampurna Tattva Jnana Siddhyartham, for the sake of complete siddhi, of the acquisition of knowledge in Shravanam, Mananam, and Nididhyasan. I sit in front of you. Oh, I pray to you, O Bhagavan. Please allow me to progress in this life of reaching the goal of Brahman. Do not deprive me of this great laudable goal which exists in front of me. Yajnam pahi, you protect all the karmas that I have done. Don't allow them to just drain out. How much, nishkama seva we do, and we acquire some punya. And imagine the punyas drain out because we were not alert. It is like going to a grocery store, and on the list you only have 2-3 things: milk, bread, and butter. Bus. But the grocery stores also know how to get more things out of you. Money. So donuts are put right in front. Purpose was to pick up bread, but the donuts are smeared right at the end, and box of donut is purchased. So you had money for 3 things. Now the money is spent for a 4th thing. We acquire punya. And in our unconscious living, we spend that punya. Like buying that unnecessary donut. We've acquired punya. And we are supposed to come to the temple for some puja. And yap. We've spent our punya. Finished. Yajnam pahi. May what I have accumulated protected. Unnecessarily, the usage of speech. Coming over here, what we are supposed to do, we don't do, but we do everything else. We've come to the temple, but instead of acquiring it, we lost it. very alert in our life. We have to mahata punya patyena pumsam advaita vasana. With the great currency of punya accumulated, there is even a vasana for advaita. Otherwise, even the vasana will not come. People are living just a street away. You think they're sitting over here? No, aram se they're sleeping off. They've seen the flyer. Punya is required for Brahma Vidya to even enter the door itself. Punya is required. So it's a sincere prayer. Yajnam pahi. Vibhavaso swaha. Sarvam pahi. Shatakrato swaha. Hey Indra, you are Shatakratu. 100 Ashwamedha Yajnas you have done and acquired the Padvi of Indra. May I acquire dexterity in action, not to become Indra, but to reach Brahman. Give me your strength, O Indra Bhagavan. I have to reach Pahino Agni, Pahino Agni. And this is all I will talk about in Agni. There are so many things, beautiful mantras you can read up on that. After Agni Devata over here, then again it is reminder, Hamsa Shuchi Sad Basurantariksha Sad Hota Vedi Sad mantra number 6. It's a reminder, Narasad, Varasad, Rutasad, Abja, Goja, Rutaja, Adrija, Rutam, Bruhat. This mantra we find in Katho Upanishad, we find in so many other Upanishads. It is a reminder, I am that Hamsa. I am Hamsa Hamsaya Vidmahe Paramahamsaya Dhimahi Tanno Hamsa Prachodayat. I am the royal swan of consciousness. Where does it swims in the very lake of Muni Manasa Raja Hamsika. It dwells in the very lake of the mind of these rishis, and I have risen to this status of rishi, not as an ahankari, but invoking the mind of the rishi. Protect me, efface all these impurities and sins, cleanse me from the inside out. I am that. So these are beautiful mantras. Then there are mantras on death. Very beautiful mantras on death. That the body is, as I'm living, the body is dying. So the biggest fear that people have is of death and loss. So to befriend even the Lord of Death, beautiful mantra, Triambakam Yajamahe, that is also over here. From Rudram, some of the mantras from Rudram are Mano Mahan Mutamano Arpakam Mano Ukshant Mutamano Ukshitam Mano Vadif Pitaram Mota Mataram Priya. All these mantras, you will find some mantras from Rudram also over here, and those are just beautiful, prayerful mantras. Then there are mantras, the whole Durga Suktam is there. That is a beautiful, powerful eulogy to the fire god. Durga is none other than the Jata Veda says Sunavama. So this Jata Veda is a fire. And it is a fire of consciousness, a fire of none other than divinity. This energy itself is referred to as Durga. Then after fire cleanses, what arises in the mind? Medha. So then Medha Suktam comes over here. Now, oh my mind, may you remember this lifestyle. May you dwell in this. So this is the synopsis of what is over here. Now I'm jumping to page 221, mantra number 1. This section is called Trisuparna mantras. Trisuparna, the three parnas. And parna is also known as a leaf. And Bhagavan Shivji, we offer bilva, that is Trisuparna. You know, the three leaves put together, Tridalam Trigunakaram. So the three, so over here in Vedas, the three parna are referred to as the three Vedic gods. So Surya Bhagavan, then Agni Bhagavan, and the creator referred to as Prajapati. These are the Vedic deities. Rama and Krishna and Shiva, and we don't find them in the Vedic. Those are Pauranic devatas. But in Vedas, this phenomenal world is addressed, and the Trisuparna, the three deities, the three deities of Vedas, please protect me. Please lead me to the higher. And this prayer of Trisuparna mantras, it is said that little children who go and they just don't, they're initiated into this thread ceremony. They're so young, 6 years old, 7-year-old. What does a 6-year-old understand? But they have good ability to memorize. That mind itself is so fresh. The mind is not polluted by anything else. As we grow, we keep on polluting. Nowadays, younger and younger, just because of this gadget, how much the mind gets polluted. What all things they see. The pre-K kids know exactly how to go and what cartoon to watch. Pre-K kids. And then in the process of watching it, some advertisement comes. Finished. Garbage is poured. It starts from there. So in the Vedic, there was no such thing, only book. So that little child is taught all these things. But then when they come to Trisuparna mantras, the teacher says, you have to use this as a japa. This is how powerful these Trisuparna mantras are. Use it as a japa. And it is a prayer. May Brahman come to me. Brahma me tumam, madhu me tumam, Brahma meva madhu me tumam, yaste soma praja, vatsobi so aham, duswapna durushvaha, yaste soma pranagam syat, juhomi. These mantras are used for japa. The child is told, just do japa. Brahma me tuma. Param Brahma Tattvam Mam Etu. Please come, please come. Oh Brahman, don't desert me in this life. Please come. You are my goal. You are my everything. You are everything. Please don't deprive me of knowing you. And this Paramananda Lakshanatvat Paramatma Rupam Madhumam Prapnotu. Bhashya also so beautiful. This Parama Tattva, which is Paramananda Lakshana. It is of the nature of just bliss. Now imagine this little child has just chanted Madhume Tuma, Paramananda Atma Madhume Tuma. Please come to me, please come to me. You know, this child, when they grow up and adversities come, nothing will happen. Today, oh, I'm so depressed. I have to see, Swamiji this day, age, I'm seeing a doctor, I'm seeing someone, I need some help. We are so mentally weak. I'm not saying you should not see or seek out some help, but we are weak because we've never prayed. We don't know how to pray. If we use these prayers, what strength it gives us. Every single person is seeing someone, oh, I need help over here, oh, I need help over here. So, people even need to talk to someone to inspire. If we just, there's so much inspiration in these Upanishadic mantras. Just sit over here, stop that YouTube, stop that Netflix, and just read this. No shrink is required. That little child has done japa. Brahma me tuma, madhu me tuma, Brahma meva madhu me tuma. This child, when they grow up 17, 18, 19, 20, and some dejection happens. Let's say they didn't get into the college that they want to. Nowadays, all hell breaks loose. I didn't get into the school that I wanted, and all sorts of nakhra, and the parents also have to. Because we have not built a moral fiber. We don't have a backbone. We've become hunched out of just with this world. These mantras are for uplifting. These are not ordinary mantras. Such tall order as prayer is given over here. This Brahmameva Madhu Arthat Akhand Ekarasan Ananda Rupam Vastu Mam Prapnotu. Just give me happiness. Why? I'm entitled to bus. Why? I'm asking for happiness, bus. I'm not asking for this and that Shanchame, Meshchame, Priyanchame. You can chant it if you want, but you just make me a repository of immovable pillar of bliss. And then we move around, what will happen? Nothing. You go on the airport and the plane is delayed, or you sit for another hour and then it is cancelled. You see how wild people behave with those poor. What can they do? Some engine, something is wrong, they need a part, and they yell at them as though that part is just going to drop from the sky and fix the plane and take you because you want to go right now. See, we cannot deal with such situations in life. I traveled and I came and I just, the way people talk, the way people behave. Uttar Pradesh khali hai, bas. So just such beautiful akhanda ek rasa anand. And you find something to sit over there. You work on something, or just sit in silence and do some mantra japa. And if we quietly sit and we are happy and we are just chanting some divine energy, I have seen even the most cantankerous children around you will become quiet. Because the energy flows. It is alive, it is divine. And if there is a Mahatma, in our Shastra, it is said when the Mahatmas used to live in jungles, the animals lost their animalistic instincts. And they had no fear. Yeah, the lion is doing it, so the tiger does whatever it is, a cheetah, whatever these animals they need to do. And the Mahatma is aram se sitting and doing his japa. Because he's cultivated. And that animal also recognizes, leaves them alone and walks away. These are not just stories. They have cultivated this. Now, if we just go over there and sit in a lion's cage, thinking what the Rishi has done, I will be eaten up. So we have to be proper. Don't utilize mantras like that. What I'm saying is, this is a divine Urja Shakti. These mantras have power. And the greatest power is when the mantra can mold our mind. Not chanted this mantra so that the lion will not eat me. That's not why the rishis did the mantras. They did the mantras to capture the strength of the mind. That is what is talked about over here. He Somaha Umaya Brahma Vidya Saha Vartamanaha Paramatman Te Yaha Praja Santi Taha Abhyarthat Abhilakshya Tasam Madhye Saha Aham Vatsaha Bala Balavat Tvadiya Karana Yogyaha. Is a prayer to Soma. Who is Soma? Moon god. And what is moon god? He is a presiding deity of mind. And that's why on a Purnima day, the local ER, fire station and police station, even they have more people working because they know there will be lunatics around. Because they haven't captured the energy of the mind. It is a known fact. Go to any police department. Everybody will be working on a Purnima day. So, because the mind, the moon god has that energy. And if we don't know how to deal with this mind, then, so it is a prayer. Yaste Soma Praja Vatsaha Abhi Saha Aham. I am, treat me like a little child. The child which is not capable of behaving properly. So you guide me towards right conduct, right behavior. Strengthen this mind. Dushwapna Durushaha. Durushaha. This ill dream about how this universe tortures, remove this. And if this dream of samsara cannot be removed, make me strong to face the samsara. Why should be a bad dream? It's only a bad dream if my mind takes on the samsara as bad. So you make me strong. Let the samsara be. Why should I participate in it? Yaste soma prana gamsya juhomi. These may the pranas be infused into the very fertile field of this mind. All these creatures, including me, I am just a child. Oh Soma Bhagavan, protect me from inside out. Build this mind. Suppress all this samsara, and if you cannot suppress it, build my mind so that the mind itself will stay away from it without being dejected. And in this way, I offer myself as oblation to you. Lift me up. So like this, there are beautiful Suparna, Trisuparna mantras. Brahma Medaya, Madhu Medaya, Brahma Meva Madhu Medaya. So then each one of these, now Medha is taken. That may this Medha Shakti in here, may this Medha Shakti dawn into Brahman. Dawn into Brahman. So that's page 225. And then very famous mantra, Madhuvata Rutayate, Madhuksharanti Sindavaha, this Madhu, Madhu, Madhu. We see in even Madhu Brahmana in Mahanarayana Upanishad talks about, the glory of this blissful self. I am that. So I will skip over some other mantras over here, and now I will come to another section, and this section is a very beautiful section. This section is page 271. And it is called, this section, Viraja Homam. And this Viraja Homam is prescribed for a sannyasi. And it is not just for sannyasi, it can be done by anybody. And it is a prayer, a daily prayer, which reminds what this instrument is and where I'm headed. And it is a beautiful prayer. You cleanse this, you cleanse this, you cleanse this, you cleanse this. Just chanting this section bestows great amount of purity and strength of mind, strength of body, strength of senses. Very beautiful section this is. So page 271, Viraja, it is called Viraja Homam. And this can be done by anyone, not literally sitting in front of fire. As prayers, it can be done. It is very powerful. Prana Pana Vyano Dana Samana Me Shuddhyantam Jyotiraham Viraja Vipapma Bhuya Saggaswaha. Very beautiful these. So Prana Apana Vyana Udana Samana Me Shuddhyantam. So the entire Pancha Pranas are addressed. Now, I won't go into it in the interest of time. You know what the Pancha Pranas are. You can read up on those if you don't. So this body, which is alive, the insignia of life are these Pancha Pranas. Even when we do Naivedyam Pranayasva, Panayasva, Vyanayasva, we infuse pranas into a Pran Pratishthit Murti every day. This is a live Pran Pratishthit Murti, walking, talking. And we have to every day revitalize it. So may these pranas, may pancha prana shuddhyanta, may they become pure. It is by the Shakti of Sankalpa that I'm releasing this to Bhagavan. And what is giving me the strength of that Sankalpa? Jyotihi Aham. I am the light of all lights. Jyoti Aham Viraja. Devoid of any type of taint. Vipapma. I'm devoid of all types of taints and sin. Bhuya Saggaswaha. May I, that Jyoti, may I become this Jyoti, which is devoid of any taint, any sin. Bhuya Satya Swaha, may I become this. I am that Jyoti, but today it is not my experience, so may I become. Then the next one, Vang Manas Chakshu Shrotra Jihva Grana Reto Buddhya Kuti Sankalpa Me Shuddhyantam Jyotiraham Virajavi Papma Bhuya Sagaswaha. So this Jnanendriyani are referred to, that Vang Manas Chakshu Shrotra Jihva Grana Retah Retah Buddhi Akuti Sankalpa Me Shuddhyantam. The very seed in me, Retah, Buddhi, the intellect, Akuti, the very intention behind my thoughts, Sankalpa Shakti itself, may that be purified. I pray that I become the supreme light, devoid of all types of taints, devoid of all types of sin. Jyotihi aham virajavi papma bhuya sagaswaha. I am that Jyoti, and may I become this Jyoti, which is devoid of all types of taint. Shiraf pani pada parshva prushto Prushtodara Jangashishna Upastapayavo Me Shuddhyantam Jyotiraham Virajavi Papma Bhuya Sadgaswaha. So all the in mantra number 2, the Jnanendriyani were talked about. Now all the Karmendriyani and all the various limbs are talked about. Over here you can just read Shira, Pani, Pada, Prushtha, Parshva, the two sides, Prushtha, the back, Udara, Janga, the stomach, the legs and thighs, and Shishna, the genitive organ, Upastha, genitive organ, and the all these Upastha Payavo Me Shuddhyantam, all of these, may the anus and everything is Me Shuddhyantam Jyotiraham Virajavi Papma Bhuya Sadgaswaha. You know, chanting these mantras, we will develop so much regard and respect for the very instrument which has been bestowed upon us. There are people who even look down upon their own form which has been given. There are even diseases in psychiatry. I am fat, I'm ugly, I'm this, I'm that. We've never looked at this instrument as a divine vehicle which takes us to the goal. Chanting this, beautiful relationship we cultivate with this body, we will have so much regard, respect, and even reverence for it. We cannot just sit down after hearing in Vedanta, Mano Buddhi Chitta Hankara, I am not this, I am not the body, I am not, and then get up from meditation and have a unhealthy regard for the equipment. How can this equipment bless us? The equipment has to bless us so that we can drop it and move. Unless and until this equipment blesses us, we will have to keep on taking more and more equipments. We require grace and blessings of Prakriti to drop Prakriti. But if we have a very ugly lookout for Prakriti, then Prakriti will not bless us. Everything which is created in this created world, we have to look at it with an eye of not just regard and respect, but reverence. And that includes this body. Uttishta Purusha Harita Pingala Pingala lohitaksha dehi dehi dapayita me shuddyantam jyotiraham virajavi papma bhuya saggasvaha uttishta purusha harita pingala lohitaksha, referring to the Jata Veda which is in this body, the very fire of consciousness. Uttishta, rise. Harita Pingala, the one which is the dark blue, green, brown color. Oh, fire, rise over here. Lohita Aksha, with your very crimson red eye. Oh, divine Prajapati dwelling over here. Dehi Dehi Dapayita, you please bless, give me this bhagya of realizing Shuddyantam Jyotiraham Viraja Vipapma Bhuya Satgasvaha. May I become this divine Jyoti, devoid of all types of sins and all. May I rise. These are very beautiful. Now it goes into the Panchamahabhut, the Prithvi, all of this, Prithivya, Vyapaha, Tejo, Vayu, Hang, Akash me Shuddyantam, Jyotiraham Viraja Vipapma Bhuya, Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasa Gandha me Shuddyantam, Jyotiraham, Mano Vak, Kaya Karmani me Shuddyantam, Jyotiraham Viraja Vipapma Bhuya Gaza. Avyakta bhavaihi, ahankaraihi. Everything is addressed over here. Everything is addressed. Purify, even this ahankar. Purify, dampen this ahankar. Bhagavan Shivji wears that Chandra Kala. It's a little bit of ahankar required for transaction. Bas, enough. So today I have a full moon of ahankar. Please, avyakta bhavaihi, ahankaraihi. May this ahankar be reduced into this avyakta bhava, into this unmanifest. May I go towards it. May I have only as much required for transaction. Then Atma me shuddyantam jyotiraham viraja vipapma. Antaratma me shuddyantam. So one is the small s, the capital S. Paramatma me shuddyantam. The ahankar, antakarana, the jiva, the paramatma. All this, may I rise, may I rise. In this way, I just gave you some synopsis of this beautiful Mahanarayana Upanishad. Our Shastra is a treasure chest for uplifting us and leading this path to absolute. Shankaracharya ji has written commentary on Isha Kena Kathamunda Kamandukya, etc. All those things, all these Upanishads. This Upanishad doesn't fall into that category because it has so many upasanas. But we neglect upasanas. We enter. Imagine we have a bhagya of studying Mandukya Upanishad and we keep on studying it. But then there are no upasanas. How can the Mandukya Upanishad help us? All these karikas of Gaudapada Acharya ji, we have not prepared. We keep on listening to Upanishads after Upanishads. We go to all the pravachans of Mahatma. Unless and until we back it up with profound chitta shuddhi, it will not happen. Thus we have Upanishads like these, which reveal to us a path to Chitta Shuddhi. Chitta Shuddhi is a function of our volition. We have to willfully participate in all activities. And the greatest activity is a prayerful life. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukkha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. May blessings of Pujya Gurudev, Shankaracharya ji,